It's Repo Rich here. Hey, it's Monday now, and I've done a few things around here the past couple days I'm gonna put together and bring to you guys. But I wanted to this morning do something different. First of all, I'm gonna start out by showing you. Oh, he's gone. Well, I was going to. I probably should have taped him first. Just a little lizard up here on the rocks by my feet, and he's actually sunbathing, but he's disappeared now. So I was just gonna cruise up to that big rock and lay one down for you for Monday morning. So anyway, hold up, okay? Okay, here we go. I know Sugar and Lance kind of like the rock formations out here, so I really wanted to bring some for him. He's a pretty awesome guy. A lot of you guys on YouTube know him, guys and girls. He is the king of South Tube, and one day I'll get to meet him. This is just beautiful. That's the main road down there. You see some traffic going on. So I hate to leave. There's Thumb Butte way out there, and there's my rig. Yeah. So anyway, this is going to be one of those crazy mornings, and I got a really good blonde joke for you. This is from one of my sisters. She's pretty awesome. Anyway, it goes like this. Okay, so blondes, if you don't want to listen to it, you don't have to. Ladies, if you don't want to, that's okay as well. This will be a guy thing. So, okay, this one guy, he gets sunburn on his penis, right? So he talks to his buddy, and his buddy says, well, hey man, just soak it in milk. That'll take care of it. So he's like, all right. So he goes home, and he puts his penis in a glass of milk, and his blonde girlfriend comes home, walks in and says, oh my God, is that how you reload it? Bah. I told that to one other lady. She laughed her butt off. All the guys I've told it to laugh. So I hope you guys get a kick out of that. Then something else I wanted to say is a lot of people email, private message me, and even comments how they can get into the repo business. And you know, to repeat it over and over to all of them, it is time consuming because there's so many, and I know you guys want in. It's not a secret thing, but you do need to have some experience. It helps with getting the insurance, which is not cheap, but you know, it's tough. So not only that, once you do have your insurance in your truck and a lot or a building or something like that, you got to get to work, and that's tough too. You know, there's hundreds and hundreds of repo companies everywhere that's already been doing the bank's work, you know, and less up is hard to change. So you gotta basically sell yourself, do really good work, be there. If you want someone experienced, I can help you do that. I mean, I can't guarantee any work, but I can save you a lot of time, save you a lot of money by telling you straight up front how to do it, you know, this and that. I can even help you hands-on for this time that I'm going to be spending going across the states and whatnot. I can definitely help you guys out. So let me pop a squat here, and people want to know my stories. Well, I got a ton of stories, and I'm just gonna lay one on you. Before I was Repo Rich, which I kind of created, I was the first nickname after I got into this business back in the 90s. Will pop up here at the end. I had this account, and now granted, I started as a field investigator, not as a repo agent, and I'll go into that maybe further down the road somewhere. But basically, I started as a field investigator with this company in Phoenix, and I was running the accounts, you know, spotting for vehicles, calling a repo guy out with a truck. I still would not jump in the car and go unless a truck was there. People ask me why, and the main reason is, if you only got one shot to get a car, you have a key, you don't know if there's a personal alarm in it, you don't know if, you know, anything. You can have a club in it. Next thing you know, you jump in, the alarm goes off, you can't move, and you have no way to do anything. You're busted. You're gonna lose the repo, they're gonna hide it, keep it in the garage, swap vehicles with friends, or they're gonna pay the bank. So, you know, I would always wait for a truck, and I still do that to this day. You know, I may make a key, and there's no guarantee it's gonna fire up. So I'll always hook onto it and get the vehicle out of there and then try the key. You know, if it's good, CG drives it, or what have you. But so anyway, basically I had this account, right? Husband and wife, you know, that's all we pretty much know in an employment. Kept running employment. It's a big hospital, never the vehicle seen. It was a Camaro. Kept running the house. It was a house within a community, you know, not gated or anything, but one way in, loops around with all the houses, and then one same way out. So nonetheless, I had run it so many times and beat the door, no one would answer, I left cards, etc. And we would always get messages in the middle of the night, you know, well, talk to our attorney, talk to our attorney. One day, I went by there and rolled around the corner from the house, and there was the Camaro sitting right out in the driveway. Dude was washing the car, okay? I couldn't believe it. The adrenaline pump. I was driving a Toyota Camry at the time. My adrenaline shot through the frickin' roof, and I thought instantly, how am I gonna get this car? How am I gonna get this car? So I went, you know, just like 5 houses down, pulled over, parked, called the office, said this vehicle's out, you know, start getting the truck out here because we're gonna get it finally. So then I look, and I wanted to make sure it was ours. You know, there's an address, there's a Camaro. We didn't have a color, no key. Matter of fact, I don't even think I had a plate at that time. So, but this dude, he was a black dude. He was big, muscly dude, you know. And so I'm thinking, how am I gonna even know this is ours before the repo guy gets all the way there? So basically, I looked, and there were a couple guys walking around putting flyers on every door, back and forth, back and forth. So I thought to myself, and of course I'm actor model, been doing that before I jumped into the repo business, and it popped into my head, ding. So I get out and I go over across the street, look at that house after the guys passed, back to this side. I finally got to his house, and you know, we did our head thing and said what's happening. And then basically I said, oh, not much. He goes, well, what are you doing? I said, well, I'm going around just checking up, make sure the guys are hanging flyers out. You know, that's what we're paying to do. And he goes, really? He goes, well, I'm part owner of some gyms in the valley, and the company they use for doing all their advertising, they don't get any results. So he wanted my name and number, and he would use us next time. I'm like, all right, cool. So I tore off a piece of paper, and I had the repo assignment balled up, you know, in my pocket. Had the last 6 of the VIN number in my head, and basically I gave him my name, gave him my pager number. I assume we had pagers back then. And you know, we shook hands and whatnot, and it was hot. It was summer. It was pretty hot already. It was kind of afternoon, and I walked up on the passenger side, and I saw the keys in the ignition. I'm thinking, no frigging way. Truck's already on the way. This is probably, I think about maybe 20 miles or more from the office. So he's gonna be a little bit. So I look and I tell the dude, I said, hey man, is there any way you think you can get me a glass of water? And he's like, sure. So and his garage was open, and I mean, the hose was on, it was all wet, everything. Dude walked into the garage, into his door to his house, and at that minute, I VIN'd it, hopped in the car, started it up, and it was a 5.0. It sounded real good when I started it up, and the adrenaline was so much, I put it in reverse and floored it on a wet driveway. Got out of his driveway, slapped it into low, squealed around the corner, you know, until I really realized that the adrenaline was running the show. And I flew all the way out. I was on with the repo agent guy. Where are you? Where are you? And I'm flying out of the entrance to this housing area as he's coming in. I didn't even see him. And I shot out of there and went to the nearest grocery store parking lot, you know, pulled in behind the parking lot, and, you know, I was just so jittery. nonetheless, you know, we made contact with the radio. He came and picked up the card. We talked and everything like that. I settled down, called it in. And then I went on to continue doing my other work. You know, I had other vehicles to try to locate and find out what I could on and spot for. And this dude made an appointment to the office, went and got all of his stuff. The car was loaded with stuff. And he said to the girls up front, and they called me and told me this, they said, whoever that dude was, you tell him that he is slick. So that's when they started calling me Slick Rick. So that was a real good story. It's one that's never slipped. And I got a lot more really good ones. Some scary ones. That wasn't scary. That was just awesome. So, and it's a numbers game, people. The more you go, the more something's gonna happen. You know, going to a house one time, it's not gonna cut it unless you're lucky and it's sitting right there. But you need to go. It's all a numbers game. So with that, I'll end this part and I'll try to blend all this stuff. I went to the lakes and did some, you know, a few things here and there and throw it all together for you. And take the next couple hours and kind of get ready to move back to Phoenix and take care of some business down there and maybe push out on the road. So I appreciate all you guys. There's been a lot on Facebook and Twitter, and it's pretty awesome. You know, I'm learning those two other sites, so bear with me on there, but I appreciate all the support, and we're going from here. All right. Stay tuned for the rest of this video, though. Watch it through the end. All right. I'm out. Bye.